Okay, so I've mentioned that I want to cover just incognito, since that's something that's requested by Google when they are pushing you towards your assessment. At that moment, you are supposed to make sure that you are incognito and certain things that you're supposed to be able to do. The incognito feature or access is right here at this the three dot drop down, and okay, another video is done, and I'm going to go ahead and open it. So it's specific, as I mentioned before, that incognito is functioning, that you're ready to go once you have your assessment. Once you log in, keep in mind, time is of an essence. Time is of an essence. So one thing that was requested, and I'm just going to go to, let's see, what's a good thing to look for? We're going to look for a video on how people live, something I look for in my class. So I will open this video, and let me go ahead and mute the video. So okay, so one thing that they specifically ask for, that you're able to, if necessary, able to use the copy and paste feature in Incognito. Now, I'm not 100% sure why that is requested, but I would just, follow directions and make sure that you test your copy and paste prior to starting the assessment. So overall, looking at the assessment in Incognito, it's also, let me come out of it. I will just address this. It is also a special request that you make sure that you have access to your password and your sign in. And that is because if you just happen to close the tabs out, and my suggestion, and I know I have a ton of tabs open, but when you're getting ready for this particular assessment, my suggestion is, and if nothing else, if you pull all of this and you go ahead and minimize it so it's not in your way. It's not in your way. I wouldn't even do that, just because, let me make sure that you're understanding that if you are just by chance logged out of your, just this reason right here, if you by chance are logged out of your assessment and you don't have your login, you're basically, your time is continuously ticking. There's nothing that's stopping the timer. There's no callback on that. It's just continuously ticking. So it specifies for you to make sure you're in incognito, have access to your login as well as the password, and it's specific. So if you've never taken this before, it's definitely specific to what you're doing. And always remember, the time is ticking, the camera is watching, and there's no turning back. And that sounds a little drastic, but that's just basically what it boils down to. So that's really all I wanted to share about the incognito and its importance. And this is one thing I tell my students. I wouldn't say every day, but definitely at the beginning of the school year, follow directions. So the directions are very important because the time is just so, the timing is so important. All right, so that's all I had to say about the incognito. Play with it a little bit if necessary. Read on information given of ins and outs, what could possibly stop the assessment from moving forward. My suggestion, as a matter of fact, I think it needs to be a prerequisite that you take the assessment not being at work, just because there's various things that will not function. Each Google for Education account has different access points. Well, not access points, it has different applications and limitations. So make sure that you have access to everything. Once again, once you start the assessment, and some assessments will, once you register for it. Some assessments will go ahead and give you anywhere uh, a window. They say 24 hours prior to register, so you're prepared. But I would, just make sure that you are ready to go. And I've been ready to go in short periods of time, and in others where it was uh, a day where I had to wait a day. And of course, it gives you a 7 day, as far as I remember, a 7 day window. Okay, so let me stop with that, and I'm moving on to the next topic.